The electricity was apparent even before the first contact. The Temple Owls take the field for the final meeting in the long series with the Fighting Blue Hens of Delaware. The Hens offer such a unique challenge. Rich Gannon of St. Joe's Prep leads Tubby Raymond's wing T attack. The Owls lost to Delaware last season, and today Bruce Arians and his team have fire in their eyes. The bodies will be flying next. Temple Football 85, brought to you by Kodak Film, because time goes by. Your Delaware Valley Subaru dealers. Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. Your hometown Pizza Hut restaurants. Rosen Booth Travel, the official agency of Temple University. The people who bring you the delicious taste of Coca-Cola. By Breyer's Ice Cream, America's #1 natural ice cream. And by Acme, your store for low prices. Delaware takes over at the 23. Tony Tolbert finds a tiny crack, cuts back for a 7-yard gain. Then Gannon on a nifty quarterback draw, he gets the first down. Tubby Raymond, mixing his plays effectively, calls on backup fullback Anthony Smith. It's 7 yards, another Blue Hen first down. Now the option left. Gannon keeps, breaks a tackle at the 45. He cuts back across the field. By the time he's run out of bounds, it is a 38-yard gain down to the Temple 16. On second down, Norris squirms inside to the Temple 8. And a 3rd-and-1 dive play for Tolbert yields just enough for a first down, first and goal at the 6-yard line. Here the Owls defense refuses to cave in. Gannon, forced to roll right, hits his own man. It's a 7-yard loss. Then Gannon's toss over the middle is nearly picked off by linebacker Bob Pilkoskas. It is 4th and goal, and on comes kicker Neil Roberts for a 21-yarder. But it is well off target. Still 7-0 Blue Hens with just over 5 minutes to go until halftime. Having dodged a bullet, Arians begins to mix his offense more effectively. A Paul Palmer sweep right for 9 yards sets up a coach's dream, 2nd and 1. Saltz, the play fake to Palmer, finds backup fullback Ralph DeMio for 19 yards and a first down at the Temple 48. Saltz then sprints out right, stops, and drills a strike for Keith Gloucester. It covers 21 yards, and the Owls are at the Delaware 31. Palmer goes off left tackle, a 6-yard pickup to Delaware's 25-yard line. Then DeMio, the running back, goes the other way, another 6 yards, and another first down. Back to Palmer, his 20th carry of the first half. This one, a counter delay, covers 12 yards. It is 1st and goal. The Owls are just 4 yards away from a tie as time runs down in the second quarter. Here, the Delaware defense rises to the occasion. First, Palmer is stopped on the doorstep inside. Then the Owls elect to go outside with Paul, but strong safety Kevin McCown stuffs it for a 6-yard loss. And with just 10 seconds to go in the half, the Owls must settle for 3. In comes Billy Wright, who makes his first field goal as a collegian from 24 yards away. The Owls will go in at halftime trailing the Blue Hens 7-3. Squad the importance of points on their first second half possession. And as the third quarter begins, the Owls maintain their ground attack. A number of Paul Palmer carries, including this one up the middle for 8 yards, puts Temple on their own 40-yard line. On 1st and 10 at the 48, Saltz uses play action, but a wide-open Willie Marshall is overthrown. The deep strike comes up empty. So it is back to Paul Palmer, sweeping to the outside. He's run out of bounds after a 13-yard pickup. Paul tops the 100-yard mark for the 13th consecutive game, adding to his already impressive career statistics. But a 3rd and 3 run comes up short at the Delaware 32, and Billy Wright must attempt a long field goal. The 48-yard attempt is long enough, but it fades wide left, still 7-3 Delaware. On defense, the Owls stop the Hens cold. Jeff Ward trips up Singleton in the backfield, a loss of 1, and the Owls return to offense at their own 34. Now a chance to showcase the skills of backup tailback Todd McNair. He pops a quick opener for 21 yards up the middle, and the Owls are in Delaware territory. McNair on the next play leaps over the middle for a 6-yard gain. And on 3rd and 3, Arians calls McNair's number once again. It becomes a glorious trek to pay dirt. A classic cutback at the 20. He rides a tackler into the end zone. At last, the Owls have a touchdown. With under 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, the Owls have their first lead of the day at 10-7. But Delaware will respond and seize the momentum. Singleton up the middle, covers 9 yards on 3rd and 9. It's a first down. Then a big break for the Hens. Norris drops the Gannon flip, but gets a perfect bounce off the turf, breaks a couple of tackles, and it is clear sailing down to the Temple 30-yard line. Then Gannon approaching the 100-yard mark, sweeps right, cuts back inside for an 11-yard gain to the Temple 11. An offsides call moves Delaware back, forcing Gannon to the air. He looks for Norris on the screen, but the pressure from a blitzing John Smith forces an early release, and it falls incomplete. In comes Neil Roberts for a field goal attempt. This one is perfect, and Delaware ties the game at 10. Back on offense, the Owls call on Paul Palmer. As always, he attacks the line of scrimmage, but this time he is smothered high and low, and when he attempts to get up, a critical blow. Paul is forced to hobble to the sidelines with a badly twisted ankle. He is through for the day with 143 yards. He can do little more than watch and hope through the final, fatal 15 minutes. After the Palmer injury, the Owls give Delaware possession as quarter number 4 begins. First play, Gannon rolls right. His pass is nearly picked off by linebacker Todd Bowles. Next play, Gannon is chased again, but this time he finds split end Todd Lott for 25 yards and a first down at midfield. 3 plays later, Bob Norris turns the corner on a critical 3rd and 4. He gets 13 yards down to the Temple 2-yard line, first and goal. On the ensuing play, Tony Tolbert leaps over the center of the line. He is in for a touchdown. A closer look from the goal line shows a strong thrust by the center of the Blue Hen line. A great clear-out block by tight end Jeff Modasit, and Tolbert is into the end zone with authority. Delaware leads 17-10 with 12 minutes remaining. On offense, the Owls minus Paul Palmer go to Todd McNair. He gets 7 yards around end. It sets up a 3rd and 3. But when McNair is snowed under in the backfield, Arians must call on Kip Shenefeld again. This time it is a 53-yard boot, and Delaware takes over at their own 33 with 10 minutes to go. The Hens promptly begin to march toward a clinching score. On 3rd and 4, Gannon rides Ralph Jarvis for just enough for a first down. Then Gannon the fake, and completion to Gray Christodoulou. First down at the Temple 28. With the clinching score close at hand, Gannon keeps and loses the handle. It is Ralph Jarvis that recovers for Temple. With under 6 minutes to go, the Owls are on offense. To the air go the Owls. Salk looks for tight end Mike Hinnett. He's covered, so Lee must scramble for just 3 yards. A 3rd down pass for McNair falls incomplete. Under 5 minutes to go, the Owls must give it up. Bruce Arians hopes for another boomer from punter Kip Shenefeld. The role of the punter, it provides an unusual dichotomy. When his team performs at peak efficiency, he is not called on. And when his time comes, he must attempt to make a positive from his team's inability to keep it going offensively. Kip Shenefeld came out of the Chamonix High as a quarterback who punted. 1 year later, he was a punter and emergency quarterback behind first Tim Reardon and now Lee Saltz. Early in his college career, Kip spent just a few minutes a day working on his punting skills. It became a serious priority just in the last 2 years. It is lonely at times, but Kip keeps his head in the game.
When the defense is out there, I'm sort of like, I go over and I watch the game. But once the offense gets the ball, I go over to the kicking game and try to warm up a little, and I try try to concentrate in my head how I'm going to kick the ball. That's basically it. Third down, I get ready to kick.
Kip Shenefeld had one of his best games ever at Delaware, providing a field position advantage for Temple, but it is difficult to gain recognition as a punter. With his college career coming to an end, Kip looks ahead with cautious optimism.
Hopefully I'll get a tryout somewhere, as far as getting drafted. I don't know if that'll happen. But, I would, something that I'd like to do, and I'd like to give it a shot anyways. Hopefully I can, these last two games, really have some good games consistent, instead of hitting one good one and then hit one off the end of my toe where it only goes like 35, yards. I just try to get consistent, and I think maybe I'll get a tryout, So.
Kip was called on to punt 6 times on the day, averaging over 47 yards per boot. But on this occasion, his final one of the day, a big kick was a major priority. He did not disappoint, backing up the Blue Hens inside their own 30-yard line. He gave the defense a chance to get the ball back, and the defense came through. First, Singleton up the middle, gets 2 yards before Ralph Jarvis and Doug Davis greet him. Then Singleton around end, stopped after 3 yards by defensive end Kurt Druckenbraun. 3rd and 5, the defense must hold. Gannon looks downfield. He can't find a receiver. Ralph Jarvis is on top. It's a 3-yard loss. The Owls go back on offense with 3 minutes to go, 58 yards from pay dirt. The Owls have trouble getting the offense going. Back-to-back Lee Saltz incompletions. One which just missed an open Keith Gloucester sets up a 4th and 7. Saltz looks for Sawyer. It's batted up in the air, and tight end Mike Hinnett has it. The Owls are alive at the Delaware 42. Again, the next 3 plays yield very little, as Salt's pass for Todd McNair is just a bit long. Another potentially game-ending 4th down. This time, Salt seeks the money man, Willie Marshall. The hook route is on the money. It's a 16-yard pickup and a 1st down at the Delaware 22 with under a minute to go. 1st down. Salt looks to the end zone for Marshall, but he cannot fight through the double coverage. It's 2nd down. Arian sees prevent coverage by the Hens and decides to try to break one via the ground game. Here comes Todd McNair around left end. He breaks into the clear at the 15, then drops the ball at the Delaware 12-yard line. A host of Blue Hens are on top of it. Todd McNair, on the threshold of his finest moment as an Owl, simply knocked the ball off his own hip and ended the Owls' chances at a miracle finish. With just 39 seconds to go, the Owls come up 12 yards short. When Rich Gannon knees the ground, the game and the long-term series with Delaware comes to an end. The Blue Hens had made the big plays when they had to. Bruce Arians congratulates Tubby Raymond on a 17-10 Delaware victory.
I don't think Delaware gets the credit it deserves most of the time. They're an excellent football team, well-coached football team, and they made the plays to win the game. We had our chances to win the football game and didn't. About 3 or 4 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10s in the 4th quarter that they completed and made 1st downs, and we didn't. We had a good drive. I thought we had good momentum in the 3rd quarter and let it get away from us. They did a good job of stopping us. We don't make a play at the end to win the game.
Was it a difficult team to prepare for on a defensive level?
Oh, they always are. Wing T's a beautiful offense when you got people who know it. I think there's a lot of similarities to it, but this is the real thing. And they will put the option in, and that option has really made it a different ball game. And Gannon's a great quarterback. They have the perfect quarterback for that offense, and he's beaten us 2 years in a row. And all the credit goes to him and his football team.
It closes out a series, and obviously they were very, very fired up, as the Temple Owls were too. Reflect, if you will, on how difficult this series has been during your era.
Well, we won the first one, lost the second, too. I don't know if we've had 2 tougher losses because of what people put into it. I think it's blown out of proportion because people make it this Davy Goliath stuff, and it's not that way. They were bigger than we are. And a good, solid football team. They got an excellent program, have been for years. So they've just got us down 1 and 2, and that's it. We're going into with our program. They'll go into theirs, and they'll be very successful, and I think we'll be very successful.
Now, in Week 10, the Owls play one of the East's most successful programs, the Panthers of Pittsburgh. Temple intends to become part of that Eastern college football establishment, a club to which Pitt has belonged for the past decade. Assistant coach John Latina thinks a win this afternoon would help continue closing the gap.
Pitt's had a great program the last 15 years. Some think has been the elite program of the East. And we're both city schools, and we recruit a lot of the same high school football players. So we are very similar, but we really think like we've gained a lot of ground in the last 2 years since we've been here, and especially last year beating them. It's been the biggest thing we've been able to measure our gaining ground on.
Last year's dramatic victory over Pitt was a turning point in the Bruce Arians era. After years mixed with heart-wrenching defeats and humiliation, the Owls beat Pitt for the first time since 1945. In that game, Panther tailback Charles Gladman rushed for over 100 yards, and he will be called on again to anchor Pitt's ground attack. In the Pitt tradition, the Panthers feature a hard-hitting, athletic defensive front, which has held the opposition to a mere 80 yards per game on the ground.
Their front seven is probably the best front seven we've faced this year, and we faced some pretty good ones. They got a defensive end named Tony Woods, who is as fine as defensive end I think there is in the country. He's a big play person.
Neither team has a winning record and don't expect to be asked to a postseason bowl.
We're 4-5, and realistically, there's no chance we can go to a bowl. They're 4-4-1, and I don't think they can go to a bowl. So it comes down to pride, and they know, a lot of our players know their players or went to school with their players because they recruit the same kids that we do, and a lot of their players know our players. It comes down to where it's going to be a real good matchup, a very interesting, very physical football game, an old-fashioned type football game, and I can't wait to be a part of it.